Show me that you want me now. When you get done, nigga, take a bow. Fuck me hard and fuck me.
To the Princess with the Real show, where I'm gonna keep it real all day, every day with y'all. So the topic of discussion today is sex. You know, excuse what's going on outside because this is Princess with the Real show. I do live by the stadium and it is popping off fireworks, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about the fireworks that we finna have going on in here, and it's just the topic of sex. First of all, the perception is that men want sex more than women. I'm gonna have to disagree with this. I feel like women want sex more, and maybe it's just that I'm speaking for myself, because I am a woman who feel like maybe I want sex a little bit more than a man do, because I'm one of those type of women who has to come at least a couple of times a day to feel satisfied and feel like my day is good. Like that just helps me to relieve some of that stress of whatever buildup I have. Like that's good. So I think that when you're in a relationship, you got to think that your spouse wants it just as much as you. Don't be afraid to jump in there and try to get some. Like, it's people, it kill me. It's like you have to give a person an invitation for them to feel like, even if y'all together, that you have to give a person an invitation to make them feel like they want it. No, I don't always have to give you an invitation. Maybe I want you to do some spontaneous shit. Maybe I want you to spice it up for me. I want you to just do some shit out of the blue and just turn me on. A lot of people don't understand that out of the blue shit like really turns the person on. Speaking of out of the blue stuff, some people don't like the out of the blue. Some people like structure. Some people like the foreplay, and a lot of people forget foreplay now. It's like now times have changed and it's just like I want to fuck, that's it. Like we want to get straight to fucking. No, foreplay is very important. I think men a lot of times don't understand how important foreplay is because they be like, okay, that's taking too long, I'm ready to get to it. I get it, but foreplay helps the man and the woman. It gets y'all ready, it gets you more aroused and more ready to get into it. So I think foreplay is good. Now it depends on what type of foreplay, because I'm not into all that extra stuff. I know a lot of my friends, I wanted to have me a caller in today, but some things came up. But he discussed like he don't mind having his booty played with as a man. He don't feel like nothing's wrong with that. He feel like if you're secure with yourself, then it's okay. And the same thing goes for the fingers. Like my friend didn't understand it, but putting the thumb on the ass like that, it's an arousal. Like people don't understand how that arouses a person. Another thing that people don't understand is that your ass can come. In my opinion, your ass can come. Like if it's feeling good enough, your ass get wet. So at times, like I'm not saying it's for everybody, and I'm not saying like get it in your ass all the time, but at times that will arouse you. The first time, of course, is not going to arouse you. Make sure the first time you do it, you always use KY, and you have to arch yourself a certain type of way, but it's what works for you because every person is different. But I think every woman should try it once in their life and just see if they like it, because you never know until you try something. And I'm like that with any position. When it comes to the bedroom, I will try pretty much anything other than bringing somebody else into my household. That's something I don't do. I don't do the threesomes. I don't do the trains. I don't do none of that. Like, I feel like what is for me, and I shouldn't have to share with somebody else. If I'm not good enough for you, then you might need to find somebody else. That's just what that is. I'm not that type of woman. I'm not the type of woman who will share my man. Like, I'm not comfortable, and I'm gonna be real, I'm not that woman who's that comfortable with sitting there watching somebody else doing things to my man that I feel like only I should do. I feel like you also bringing it in for your man to cheat. I feel like once you bring someone into the household, you can never get mad at him for cheating and going outside of the household. I don't care if you had some kind of understanding of, oh, well, as long as we do it together. No. Once you start doing it together and then you busy and he want to go get something, he going to go get it on his own. I don't play that. I don't open up the door for that. I'm not that chick. Won't be that chick. Ain't never gonna be that chick. I won't try that shit. That's just not me. Like, there's a lot of females who will do that. Kudos to you. That's just not me. I'm all about satisfying my man in any way that I can. So I feel like as a woman, we have to do everything. I know, like, a lot of people say, like, the perception of only white women give head. I never believed that perception. I feel like black women always gave head. They were just secretive about it. They didn't want people to know that they did it because it was considered nasty. It was considered, you don't do that. Now, I can't say that I've done a lot of my life outside of who, like, I've been with in a long-term situation, because you just don't give head to everybody. That's what another thing that people need to understand is, like, and that's the same thing with having sex. I believe, and I tell my homeboys all this all the time. I tell my homeboys more than I tell my homegirls, because they don't understand that it's when you having sex with randoms. The thing is you can't give everybody that 1000%. You can't give them that thunder every time. Like, when you do that, that's what make bitches crazy. They make them fall in love. That make them want more. Like, it's your fault because you gave them 1000%. If it's a one night stand and it's somebody that you're not looking to do nothing long term with, you don't want to revisit again, like, just do it enough to where you get off. Like, real talk. I know a lot of niggas, and when I say niggas, I mean all men. I just can't help but to say niggas. That's just my vocabulary. I'm working on that. But I know a lot of niggas, they feel like, oh, I got to give her that 1000% because I don't want her to go say nothing and say nothing negative, and I don't want this. No, you can't think like that. You have to think, if I gave her 1000%, how she gonna act afterwards? If you thought like that, a lot of niggas would be a little better off. Same thing with protection. Like, you laying down with these women, okay, if you single and you mingling and you fucking anything, walking, who ready to open up their legs, okay, if that's what you want to do. But you gotta know when you laying down with the bitches that they could possibly get pregnant too. That's the other thing niggas need to realize. But I'm not here to talk about the pregnancy stuff. I'm here to talk about having good sex, because a lot of people don't understand that you have to take things up a notch. You can't be the same way in the bedroom that you was when you first met that person. You got to elevate. Now, here's the thing is now when you elevate too much, then it start looking like, oh, what's she been doing? Like, that be the problem with, I know for me, I take things in stages. I make sure I don't bring everything out the box at one time. You just bring a little bit out the box at a time, because I feel like, in my mind, I'm not going to say everybody, but I feel like if you bring it all out the box at one time and it just come out the blue, then a motherfucker be feeling some type of way, like, oh, she been doing this to somebody else, she been doing, like, so I just bring it out the box a little bit at a time and just show you who the fuck I am. Like, that's just who I am. Everybody ain't like me. Excuse all my cursing, that's me. But, so I feel like you have to spice things up. If you've been doing it missionary style and you still doing it missionary style, something is wrong with you. You need to get your whole life together. There is books out here that can show you different positions. You can go online and just Google, like, different sex positions, and I think it's like 369 positions that you can pull up. And I used to go through it and try to see all the ones that I did to try to learn how to do more, because I just wanted to try it all to see which one I like the most. Because one of the questions I always ask is when you're talking about sex talk is, what is your favorite position? For me, my favorite position is doggy style. And the reason why my favorite position doggy style is because I like to throw that ass back. Of course I like to ride a dick. I think that is the best position for a man, for the woman to be on top. Just like for a woman, it's best for a man is on top. Because for me, when I'm on top and I'm doing my thing, like, I'm feeling good and I'm liking it, but I'm not gonna get as much aroused because I'm trying to make sure I turn you out. So I'm not gonna get as much aroused as I would as if you was on top doing your job. And here's the other thing, ladies, while I'm on that. Learn how to control the bedroom sometimes. I think a lot of women feel like the male wants to control the bedroom, so they allow that. Like, take control sometimes. That is such a turn on for a man. It's when they want to take control and, like, talk to them. Like, you got to talk during sex. You can't just be boring and just breathing. Like, you got to talk. Tell that nigga that shit good. Like, you got to do all of that. It's all a process to really getting that arousal that both of y'all need. Like, not only doing that helps him, but it helps you too. Talking during that shit, like, saying that shit good, or saying do it this way if the person ain't doing it in the right position. Don't be afraid to tell them that they doing it wrong. Why you gonna continue to let somebody touch you and fuck you and do all of this and do it wrong? You want to make sure that they're doing it right. So you want to school them and while they're doing it, but doing it in a nice way. Like, there's ways to be like, no, right there. No, go over there. Like, it's ways to do that. You just got to not be afraid to do that. Because here's the thing is, people are used to what they're used to. If they never had a person like you or never dealt with you in the bedroom, then they don't know how to relate to you in the bedroom. You got to teach them. A lot of people ain't willing to teach a person what they're used to and what they like. They so quick to be like, oh, he ain't good, he ain't do this, he ain't. But you ain't show him that this is what you want and this is how you want it. Give a person an opportunity. That's what I feel. I feel like don't give up on a person and move on to the next, because here's the thing is, that's when you start being considered a hoe. I know niggas out here, you can fuck anything walking and you considered a god. Yeah, he did that shit. But if a female do that shit, you a hoe. So I don't believe in thottism. I don't believe in hoism. I feel like you ain't got to be like that, baby girl. You ain't, unless you're a prostitute and you out here and that's just really what your profession is. Don't jump from dick to dick. Like, if you jump from dick to dick, then there's a problem within that you got to figure out. Like, for real, you can't be jumping from dick to dick. Because the thing is what, as a female, when you jumping from dick to dick, like your pussy, like it scratches, and everybody don't have that snapback. Like, I know every woman out here want to believe they have snapback, but I hate to say that every woman don't have snapback, but they just don't. And so if you out here messing with different size dicks all the time, and you let them just go up in you all the time, you scratching your stuff out. Sometimes you do it so much to where you lose your walls. And when you lose your walls, then it's just not good for a man anymore, because it's like he's drowning in there because you have no walls keeping it closed. It's not tightening up. That's what men like a tight pussy. Like, it's got to be tight. If it ain't tight, it ain't right. They want to feel that grip on them, but not too tight that it's squeezing them, but they want that grip. Same thing when you giving head as a female. Know that you can use your hands. And I know men, if they watching this, they're going to be like, what? No, you can use your hands. Like I was saying, there's nothing wrong with using your hands. You just got to know how to use your hands properly when giving head. Because, of course, men do not like you to use your hands, but you got to make it feel like you're using your mouth. You use your hand below if you need two hands. It's like a screwy thing. You just use, it's a rotation. If you need one hand, you use one hand. You take your mouth and you go around the tip of the head. You go around the trim with your tongue while going up and down on that while you're jacking the dick at the bottom in a circular motion. Now, when you're doing that, you have to make sure that you keep it wet. That be the problem with a lot of people. They think that they can just do this and it's gonna suffice it. No, you got to use that spit. You got to keep it wet. You want it to feel like it would feel if it was in the pussy, but it's in your mouth. You want to make sure you take your mouth also, and you can tighten up and you can pull the head but don't do it too much. You got to really learn the male and how much they can take before you go too far. You also have to make sure you keep your teeth away. Don't always use your hand. It's okay to use your hand, but sometimes you want to go all the way down on the dick and come back up. That's that stuff that just make them lose their mind. Just know that, ladies, it will do it every time. So you want to do that. Then you also, when you're giving head, you can also get the balls involved. You want to rotate and massage on the balls. That'll help him come a lot faster. I know a lot of women who don't like giving head because they feel like it takes too long to get it done. Or they feel like they don't like that nasty texture in their mouth. That is another thing that a lot of girls don't like, is the taste of nut. And when I say nut, I'm talking about pre-nut as well, because that pre-nut comes well before the nut comes. And a lot of girls don't like that taste. So that's why there's different things that you can go buy at your local sex stores, Starships, this, that, the others, whatever sex stores. Pop Rocks, like I stated, was one of the things that you can purchase to keep the taste away. There is also a product called Good Head. They have it in different flavors. That also will keep the taste away. But also, you know, you can get the job done. There's a bunch of different toys and different things that you can use. I think you just got to get informed. If it's something that you want to spice up, if it's something you want to learn more about, hit me up and I can tell you, you know, some different tips on some different things. I'm not saying that you have to give your man head all the time, but I believe all women should give their man head. It was so crazy when I always heard that only white women do that. Like, no, black women do it. They just don't tell nobody they do it. Ain't nothing wrong with doing it. You have great skin if you swallow. Like, that's not for everybody. I can teach you tricks if you don't want to swallow. You don't have to. You can put it in your mouth and make it appear that you swallow and get up and go spit it out. There's different things you can do. You can tell him to nut on different areas of your body. That turns the man on as well. Tell him where to put it at. So that's just some advice that I have on giving head. Same thing, a lot of girls is like, oh, I don't like being on my knees. I don't want to mess up my knees. You don't always have to be on your knees when you're giving head. You can sit in a chair and he can stand in front of you. You can also lay across him as he's laying down. There's different ways of doing different things. Like, come on, 69 is another way. I'm gonna be real. I don't like the 69 because I feel like if I'm getting pleased, I can't please you because I'm into it. So I'm not really a fan of the 69. I'd rather please my man and then let my man please me, or vice versa, whatever, however it goes. And also, what I'm touching on is when it comes to oral, I feel like don't assume because you gave oral that your partner will do the same. If they do it, they do it. You can't force that upon someone to do that. And I say that to my men because a lot of women, they feel like they're being forced. It's almost like a rape because they feel like when a man gets done eating them out, then he just plops his dick in their face like, you got to suck my dick because I just ate you out. Like, we don't want it to be forced. Let a woman come upon herself that she wants to do that. It'll be more arousing to the man. I think for a man, it's just like second nature now for some reason. For some men, that you just, after I did it, now it's my turn to get it. Like, no, you did it because you wanted to. Now allow that woman to do it because she wants to. That's what I got to say about giving head for right now. I don't want to get too deep into stuff. I just want to keep on the basics for now because I feel like the more I go into my shows and having shows, we will get into deeper conversations about this. But this is some basic stuff that people can go look into and figure out how to make things better in their sex life. Ain't nothing wrong with trying something new or taking tips from somebody who has experienced it or talking to people who has experienced it. And again, everybody is different, so you have to figure out what works for you. It's just so much that goes along with having sex. Like, it's so much that I can say. Like I said, I've had passion parties. I've hosted those. I've talked to so many different people. But the thing is most people are shy about it. Most people don't like to discuss sex. Like, most people feel like that's private. It is private. What goes on in your bedroom really is private because you don't want the next chick or next nigga know how good your spouse is in bed, because if that's the case, they're going to be trying it because they want to see if it's really as good as you say it is. So no, you don't want to tell everybody that. But sometimes you do want to talk to people and see what you're not doing, what you're not trying. Because I was one of those people who didn't like playing with toys. I was one of the people like, why would I want a toy if I got a man? But the thing is when your man is busy, when things is going on and you get horny, instead of going out and sleeping with somebody else, why not get you a toy to play with? That's how I feel. Now, sometimes I get to that point where it's like the toys don't do enough. I think all women need to know their body. I really feel like all women need to know their body, because here's the thing is how can somebody know how to please you if you don't know how to please yourself? So just like men ejaculate, like they jack off, they learn what kind of motion they like that arouse them and that gets the dick to pop out. For a woman, like, how many women can really say that, like, they know that about themselves? How many women can really say that they did a fact check on their body to know, like, what it takes to get me off? How many women have done that? How many women have in the bedroom with a man, while a man was on top of you, you went down and you played with your clitoris while he was riding you? How many women have done that? Like, I don't think a lot of women feel subconsciously like that's cute or like they should be doing that. But to me, it's like, learn your body. Learn your body and get involved. Like, just because you're touching yourself don't mean that he's not doing his job. You just trying to make everything emasculate and be better. Like you trying to make it greater. Like, that's all that you trying to do. So I feel like you have to get involved. Like, don't just feel like you just lay there. Like, don't be that chick that just lay there while he's doing his business. Like, get involved. Go up and down with him. Like, get in the motion with him. Like, don't make it just about him doing the work. Both of y'all need to be putting in work. What you don't fail to realize is that's a workout for you. And when you get involved, it's gonna make him feel better, which is gonna get him aroused faster, which is gonna make him come quicker. A lot of women feel like their men be taking forever to come. And that's another reason why a lot of women, which men don't realize, don't like having sex all the time like that. Because they feel like it take too long for him to come. I don't want to do it because it's going to take too long. Men, y'all have to figure out how to tell y'all women that they're not doing things right. So that way you can come quicker and everybody can be happy in the situation. That's all I'm saying. But women, back to y'all, learn your body. Learn your body. Learn what works for you and what turns you on and what spots is your spot. Like, every woman don't really know what a spot is, and I think that's a problem. Like, learn your spot. And if you got multiple spots, you need to learn those. And you need to point a man in the direction of where those spots is. Don't just assume for him to learn and know that shit. Like, point him in the direction, and once he get pointed in the direction, then he'll learn and figure it out, and then he'll stick to it because he knows that's what you like. Quit trying to make people read your mind when it comes to the bedroom. Like, everybody like different stuff. Some people like stuff poured on them. Some people like, you know, they toes up. Some people like their ass ate. Some people like, everybody like different things. Like, learn what you like. Don't say you don't like it if you never tried it. And I'm a firm believer, but don't say you don't like it unless you've tried it. I have friends tell me all the time when I try to tell them to try something different, they be like, girl, you too extra. That's too much. Like, I don't like that. I don't do that. But you've never tried it. Try it at least once before you say you don't like it. Now, I'm not saying try and share your man or nothing, because I will never try that. I will never do anything like that. And honestly, I would never try bringing another man in the bedroom with me and my man, because if I did that and my man liked that shit, then I'm no longer with that man, because that's some other stuff. But that's for a whole other show. I did want people to get into the conversation today. I wanted other people to be a part of it. But a lot of people aren't as comfortable expressing their sexual life or how they feel sexually publicly. They feel like that's a no-no. Like, some things are private. I agree, things are private, but sometimes it's just like, help somebody else. If you can help somebody else, why not? And when it comes to sexual things, I really feel like I can help people. I talk to people all the time, and I've gotten nothing but good reviews after I've given advice or anything. So I feel like, you know, I can say that I am a sexologist. You know, I say I'm a psychologist as well, because I can talk to people about their real life and help them to get better. So yeah, I call myself a ologist overall, and you can put whatever in front of it that you want. But when it comes to sex, like, I love sex talk, because I consider myself one of those people who like to be freaky. Like, it's on my mind a lot. And I'm always there to get involved with those type of conversations, just because some people aren't knowledgeable when it comes to that, but they believe they are. So when people start talking and they don't know what they're talking about, I like to jump in there and let people know that, yeah, I look like I'm not that type, but I have a lot of knowledge on the subject. I did a lot of research and a lot of studying on the subject in regards to STDs and everything, and that's why I don't sleep around, because I believe STDs are real. And I grew up around people who was catching them here and there, different things from the mouth to everything. So I watch myself when it comes to sleeping around. I don't want to be one of those people carrying around penicillin pills and doing stuff like that. Like, what people don't realize is you can have sex and have fun. And you can really enjoy yourself without sleeping around with so many people. You have to find that partner that's for you. And if you, in my opinion, if you can't find that partner that's for you, then you might need to have sex with yourself until that partner comes along. Your goodies ain't meant to be given out to everybody, period, point blank. That's my opinion. I always feel like that it's not for everybody. You got to give it to who is right for you. Like, you start giving it to the wrong people, then you create psychos. And that's what a lot of my male friends go through. It's like, oh, I gave it to her and now she going crazy. She keep calling me. She keep wanting to spend time. Well, you gave it to her 1,000%. What you expect? You can't do that shit and then expect the girl not want to call you back. She gonna do that. So you gotta evaluate what you really want when you laying down with people. But if you want something long term, then y'all got to really tell each other, like the movie Benefits, like Friends with Benefits and stuff, and how they like really told each other what they liked because it was just a fuck friend thing. That's what people need to do in real life. Like, that's real life, and it needs to be real life. I don't know. Let me know if I'm not telling the truth. Y'all know how to hit me up. Instagram at Princess with the Real. You can hit me on Facebook at Princess with the Real. Also Princess Haynes. You can hit me at Twitter, Imani123456. Hit me up. And being spontaneous. Everybody knows the basic positions. You got missionary, which is really the basic position, either the male on top or the female on top. Like, we got to get out of the missionary state. Like, no more missionary positions unless you're doing something extra with it. If you riding that man, you need to do something extra. Reach behind you, play with his balls, like different stuff you can do when you're riding. You don't have to just ride it and just be basic with it. Try to do some different things with it. Like, even you can play with yourself while you're on top of him, just as well as when he's on top of you. You can play with yourself, or you can grab his balls from underneath. Like, there's different things that you can do in the bedroom to spice things up, without even really putting in a whole lot of effort. You can spice it up by just moving your hand a different way. Like, don't always feel like you have to have sex in the bed. I swear, like, go in the kitchen. I know people don't want to be in their kitchen and doing all of that, but here's my thing is, sometimes you gotta spice it up. The kitchen, the living room, the dining room, the park. Like, try different locations. If you always in a location, how you know that's the best location for you? For me, I've always been one of those types that if I'm in an area that I feel like I'm gonna get caught doing it, it turns me on a little bit more. Just that feeling of possibly getting caught. So don't be scared of getting caught. Like, enjoy yourself. Like, live life. Here's my thing is don't feel like everything has to be in the bedroom or in the bedroom with the lights out. You got to live. If you're going to have sex with somebody, why you don't want to see their body? Like, see their body, learn their body, and figure out how to make yourself take control of that body when it's time to. That's all I'm saying. And don't wait until late night. This is my other thing. Don't wait until midnight, 1 o'clock, when it's time for you to actually lay down and go to sleep and be like you want some. That's the most annoying shit of them all. If you ain't did no foreplay, you ain't did nothing to make me feel like you wanted it, but at 1 o'clock in the morning you want to roll over and feel like you gonna get some. No. You got to lead up to these things. You gotta make a person want it. You got to make them be like, I want that bad. Like, not, oh, okay, I'm tired, but since they want it, I'm just going to give it to them because I don't want to not give it to them. No, you want to make it spontaneous. You want it to come out the blue. You don't want it to be looking like, okay, this is our routine. Once people start getting into routine, that's when the sex becomes bad. Once people have to schedule it all the time and do all of that, and now I'm tired and you want it, then it makes the person not want it. You got to make a person want you. You got to make a person desire you. That's the only way it's going to be good. That's the only way you're going to get that girl wet. That's what a lot of people don't understand is women get wet. If you messing with a woman and she is dry as a desert, man, I hate to say that, but sometimes that is you. 90% of the time that is you. You don't do it for her. If you did it for her, you would get her wet. I can watch a TV show, certain people on the TV, certain scenes is going to do that. Like, if a man is really that one who she really wanted to be with that night, she going to get it wet. Like, it's just going to come naturally. And don't be afraid of it, women. Don't be afraid of that moisture. It comes. And the more you're moisturized, the better it is for your man. Like, I know a lot of girls pee on themselves. And I don't like that. I don't like the whole pee, pretend, squirt stuff. If you were a squirter, you a squirter. Don't be peeing and talking about you a squirter. Don't be peeing on that man and talking about you wet. You gotta actually be wet. It can't be pee. Like, come on. Your sheets gonna smell. Everybody gonna know you peed the next morning. Like, I don't like that. And I've seen that on a lot of porn, which is why I don't like porn. I'm gonna be real. I will read a book. I will do some research on like different positions. I'll even look at pictures, but as far as watching a porn, it does nothing for me because I am an analyzer. I'm one of those people who is going to analyze the porno because I'm not watching a porno to get aroused. My partner is supposed to do that for me. I'm watching a porno to see if I can learn something new to do in my bedroom. That's the only reason why I've ever watched a porno, was to see if I can learn something new to do in my bedroom. Or unless I was playing role play, and it's another game that you can play with your spouse. I've done this before, where you role play, and it's not really role play. It's called what is it? Tease. It's a game I made it up myself. It's called Tease. So what I would do is turn on the porno and then just try to do what they doing, but not actually like getting all the way into it, because again, they're filming. So it's just like playful teasing, getting somebody in the mood. It's a form of foreplay. I also do another form of tease, where watching TV or another extracurricular activity that I like to do. If I'm doing something like that and I just put the dick in me while I'm watching TV, and I can pump, you know, do my own little thing when I want to, but I'm in full control. That's another form of tease, to make him eventually want it and then just take that power. That's something you can do as well. But I forgot what I was talking about because I just rumbled on to the game of tease. But there's just so much that you can do in the bedroom. So many different things you can try. I know friends of mine who run around naked with umbrellas and they act like those are swords. You know, sword fighting. It's different things that you can do to spice up things in your bedroom to make it more fun. Like, it shouldn't be like you doing a job. You should really be enjoying yourself while you're in it. And if you're not sending that person to sleep, now here's the thing. Everybody don't go to sleep after the first time. Some people need 1 or 2 or 3. And if it's good, I don't know. I can't speak for most women, but if it's good, I'm going to want another round. So I feel like if it's good, you know it's good, because then that girl wants more. And even if she can't take more, she's going to want more. She's going to try, even though she knows she might be tired. But the thing is when you fall asleep, if you ain't knocked that person out with you, then you weren't on your job. That person was on their job. They done wore themselves out. Just make sure you be on your job. I feel like in the bedroom, everybody has to be on their job. If you're a lazy fuck, nobody ever is going to want to fuck you. And those are the people who get cheated on. Real talk. I hate to say that, but when you're lazy in the bedroom and you just lay there, and it's like Celia on The Color Purple, like he just gets on me and does his thing. Like, no, like nobody wants to be like that in the bedroom. Everybody want to feel like both parties are involved. So make sure you are involved in the bedroom. Make sure that you are coming up with new things, not expecting your spouse to always be the one to come up with new stuff. It's 2018, baby. If you want to keep your spouse, you got to please your spouse. And this is just one way of pleasing your spouse. There's many ways you can please your spouse, which I will touch on it. This topic of today was sex. Sex is very important in a relationship. I will say that again. And you have to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, get educated. If you don't know how to do it, get educated. And if you don't believe in diseases, get educated, because don't have sex with everybody. Yeah, I'm telling you different stuff, different positions, different things to try, but I'm not telling you to go out there and sleep with everybody and try this on everybody. This is me talking to people with your spouse. You're in a relationship, because I would not do half of the stuff that I'm discussing with just a random. That's just what, to me, random sex is missionary. Random sex is basic, I just need to catch a nut type shit. Like with random people, you don't want to give them everything that I'm discussing, because then you're going to have a whole bunch of random crazies coming at you, and that's your fault. Go back in the recording and you'll see why that's your fault, because you can't give it to people like that. So that's it on that. If I left anything out, I'll probably come back and touch on it, but as I'm thinking right now, I feel like I've touched on enough that will give people enough to think about. And I know there's going to be several people who are going to try some things. Let me know. You don't have to put it on blast to the public, but just, you know, DM me or something and be like, hey, that worked. I just like to know. Everybody I've ever talked to before and gave advice to, I do get them to come back to me and be like, that did work. But now I'm having this problem, so what should I do? That's how I got into really like talking about sex and helping people, because I wanted my friends and people close to me to enjoy sex. And I wanted them to be able to give their spouse what their spouse needed in the bedroom. I didn't want them to be selfish when it came to sex, because a lot of my friends, they weren't open to trying new things. which makes you a little selfish when it comes to sex, because your spouse may be open to that, but they trying to be what you want them to be and don't want you to think they're super freak or anything like that. You just got to be open to trying new things. Yeah, I be all over the place when it comes to this topic, because this is one of those topics I like to touch on, but I just don't always know what to say when I'm just talking to a camera. Like, I'd rather have people in the room with me discussing it so I can hear other views and I can just piggyback off of that and help people to understand my opinion on different things. Because, like I said, everybody likes different stuff. People like different positions. And I know friends of mine, like, I'm going to say swings and sex rooms. For me, when I get the money to get into my house, I do want a room specially made to have a sex room. I've always wanted that. That's something I've always visioned in my life, and that's what I'm gonna get. But a lot of people don't like stuff like that. I say try it. I say try it, and I'm that friend who, even though I know you're not that type, I might bring you a sex swing when you get married. I might do stuff like that because I want you to try new things. I want you to see how much that arouses you. I'm that friend who takes my friends to the sex stores for the first time. I do. Most of my friends will tell you, majority of them I probably took into a sex store, because I feel like, let's go in here, let me show you something different that you haven't tried. Go try this with your man and see if he likes it. Because here's the thing is I believe you really have to bring new things into the bedroom. It can't be the same style, the same thing all the time. Like, if you need to put heels on one night, put them heels on. If you need to be butt booty naked, be butt booty naked. If you need to have clothes on, put clothes on. If you want them to rip you off. Like, if anybody go listen to my song Show Me, I think I have it on my website. And, like, real talk, that song really happened. That was a real life event that happened in my life that I decided to write some rhymes about. And I turned it into a song. Like, that was me spicing it up. That was me like, okay, we finna have a good time tonight. Like, it's okay. Like, it don't make you no hoe. You just got, everybody got a little freak in them. You ain't got to show it to the world, but damn, show it to somebody. Don't hide that shit. Like, I feel like the freak needs to come out at night. That's what they say, freak comes out at night. Let that freak out. Like, quit trying to hide it. Quit trying to act like you're not somebody who wants it. And that's the problem, is a lot of people act like they don't want it when they really do. A lot of people try to downplay it. And I know I was that person at first, because I didn't understand that it was okay for me to want it like I wanted it. I felt like it made me like, oh, she's a raging, like she just wants it all the time, she's a freak. Like, no, that's not the case. The case is I like to be pleased. I like that pleasure that comes from that explosion. It feels good. I don't like to just come. I like to explode. Some girls just like to come. Some girls can't come at all and they still fucking a person. But let me tell you, if that person is not making you come, that person is not good enough for you. Male or female. If you have to get in the bed with somebody and you get them to that point where they happy and they falling asleep and you got to go in the room and take care of yourself, something's wrong. That's not for you. Know that. Remember that. I hope people learn something from today, because I was trying to make people learn something. You know, I was trying to teach people something new. I wish I had more people to get involved. Maybe next time. I know a couple of my people, they was dealing with family stuff, so they couldn't get involved because they had children around. And I understand when this topic like this come up, you can't just do that everywhere because there's children around. I had to make sure mine was good and mine was away, because this is adult conversations. Like, this is something that you don't want your kids to hear. But as adults, we know you got to be better in the bedroom. You got to make sure you're satisfying your partner. If you're not satisfying your partner, somebody else will. Period, point blank. And I hate to have to say that, because here's my thing is if somebody else can take what I got, it wasn't mine to begin with. But know that if you're not satisfying your partner, maybe they aren't yours. Maybe that's not what you needed to begin with, and somebody took them. But maybe this was not for you. I just believe in satisfying your partner. If you're gonna lay there and sleep with them, then you want to make sure you satisfy them. If you're not planning on satisfying that night, then don't do it. When you do it all the way if that is your spouse. But if it's somebody that you just creeping with, know that person you can't give it to all the way. because that could cause a whole nother situation. But that's for a whole nother topic, because I'm not necessarily saying that I condone cheating, because I don't condone cheating. But I do believe that if you're not getting what you need from home, that it happens. And who is at fault? The person who's not giving you what you need, or you because you had to go get what you needed? That's for another day. Hope everybody enjoyed.
Show me that you want me now. When you get done, nigga, take a bow. Fuck me hard and fuck me slow. I don't care how low you go. Turn me around, spread this ass, shove that dick in like you mad. Smack that ass, choke my ass. Give it to me, daddy, don't give me no pass. Take this body and don't you stop. Show me how you do on top. Spread my legs, grab my hair. In this moment, I do not care, 'cause you got me feeling good. Deep inside, I feel your wood. Hard and long, make me groan. Don't you stop till the end of the song. Put me up and sit me on the counter. Grind that dick, make me scream louder. In and out, in and out. I'm scratching on your back while you kiss me in the mouth. Damn, it's good, please don't stop now. I want you to fuck me around the clock out. Make me scream, make me shout. Show me what that dick's about. Now it's time for me to stand up. Hike that ass and put it in my gut. I'm gonna fuck you like a fucking slut. We can do it in the house or in the cut. Role play with your baby until you nut. Now it's time for round 2. Time for me to show you what I do. Throw you on the bed or maybe on the couch. Climb on top, put this pussy in your mouth. Show me that you want me now. When I get done, nigga, take a bow. Fuck me hard and fuck me slow. I don't care how low you go. Show me that you want me now. When you get done, nigga, take a bow. Fuck me hard and fuck me slow. I don't care how low you go.